All right, all right, all right. How is everybody doing tonight? Okay, I know I told y'all I will be back probably to my green screen. Well, I got it in. I got my green screen in. So I did get it in. But what I got to do, I got to buy a rod for it so I can hang it up. So I did get my green screen. It's better, it's thicker, it's much more greener. It's good. Somebody just wrote me about some. America's truly lost. I'm sorry. A lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, but America's truly lost. What we witnessed last night on the Grammy Awards was a direct disgrace. It was a disgrace. There is no other way to put it. Last night was a disgrace. Never have we ever thought the day we would see Satan worshiped openly on television for children to see. Let me say that again. Never did we think the day we would see children being propped up for a same-sex, a gay marriage couple like that. This was prime time last night. Regardless of what, this was prime time. Last night was prime time. You had a man dressed up in stripper boots, dressed as the devil, performing, and everybody just clapping. Let me tell you something right now. Y'all know, I thought Jay was going to be live tonight. I thought Jay McCanny was going to be live tonight. Oh, but before we go, let me do a product placement. Conservative Grounds coffee. You see that? If you are in St. Petersburg, Florida, and you want coffee that you know your money is not going to go to some radical liberal organization, go down to Conservative Grounds. Once again, Conservative Grounds with a personal friend of mine, Cliff Gephardt of the Political Opinionist, and of course John Tatum of Tatum's Bait and Tackle. Once again, Conservative Grounds. They have the best coffee and they're conservative. What we witnessed last night was mocking God, mocking the church, and damning America. America is truly damned. If we look at the children of Israel after David, and when David messed up, then Saul came. Excuse me. His son came. Solomon. Even Solomon slipped up and went a-whoring after women and their gods. But eventually, Solomon got himself back straight, which Ecclesiastes is Solomon after he's repented and come back. But that damage was done to Israel. The damage was done to Israel. The damage has been done to America. The damage has been done to America. The damage has clearly been done. Hey, Miss Barbara Kirkendall. Our children now today are running around saying that they can be more than one gender. They are actually cutting off the breasts of little girls, cutting off the penises of little boys so they can indulge in a sick fantasy. All this stuff happened when the church adopted "you can't judge" mentality. Did I get that cleaned off? I thought I did. There the thing showing up in the thing. When the church started telling people you couldn't judge, when the church started telling people worry about your own house, when the church started telling people don't talk about him, pray about him, when the church started switching their message from standing what is holy and righteous judgment to everybody do it, we saw America starting to fall and dissolve. How do you think the degeneracy started to spread within around America? Do you think you would have saw Satan performing at the Grammy Awards in 2008? 2005? In 20 years, I just want y'all to think about this. Yeah, I remember Madonna. She kissed Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and everybody was cheering it. And when Christians spoke out, so many people said, why y'all trying to judge? Hey, Jerry Lewis. Why y'all trying to judge? Hello, Jose Marquez. Why y'all trying to judge? Christians need to stop judging. That's why people don't like to go to church. People don't want to be judged. You know what? The reason why people didn't like to go to church, you're right, because they don't want to be told they're wrong. They want comfort in their wrongdoing. Let me say that again. When somebody tells you, well, people just don't like to come to the church, people just don't want to be judged, what they're saying is they don't want to be corrected and told they're wrong in their wrongdoing. They want to come to church, sit in church, and not be bothered. Anybody remember that old saying of sweating like a hoe in church? Anybody remember that? Oh, they were sweating like a hoe in church. Hoes don't sweat no more in church because the message the pastor or the preacher giving ain't about nothing that's going to change nothing. Don't talk about him. Pray for him. No, I'm going to go to my brother and I'm going to ask him for help. And then if he won't listen to me and my brother, then I got to go get 3 people. Then if we don't go listen to those 3 people, we got to bring him in front of the church. Hollywood is satanic. Hollywood is a cesspool. But the stuff we saw last night, CBS should have been boycotted. But you know, CBS isn't because the people who have a voice won't speak up. And that's us, the American people. Monday morning, CBS should have been getting phone calls and emails saying, take it off the air and apologize for that crap of a show y'all did. Apologize for it. People should have demanded an apology. Nope. They don't have to fear the opposition anymore. Democrats, these hell-written liberals, they don't have to fear opposition because the opposition has more fear than anybody. Listen, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live their life, but it's just no. I am going to tell you that it's wrong. And if you living like that, you evil. You notice if you are on Mind of Jamal Live, if somebody who is a radical liberal is okay with talking to you, I see what Steve Crowder meant by these conservatives who are the big con. And to allow her to insult a prominent conservative broadcaster and not check her butt right then and there goes to show you his character. And I got to bring that up. But let's go on and get started, y'all. We got to get started because this is just craziness. Craziness. I'm going to cut the volume so nobody can flag me for it. But this stuff is evil. I'm about to show you this. Sam Smith and Kim Petras are 2 men. 2 sick, twisted men. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you are a grandparent, you got a right to tell your grandkids certain music they ain't going to play in your house. My grandma did. And let me ask y'all a question real quick. Let me ask y'all a question. For those who are grandparents, for everybody on my feed right now who is a grandparent, are y'all like your former grandparents, or are you much sweeter and kinder? In other words, are you soft as cotton candy? Are you like your grandmother and grandfather when you was growing up? Or have you just want to be the cool granddaddy, the cool grandkids, the cool grandparents? Because when I was growing up, Kids didn't jump on chairs. Do you allow your grandkids to jump on chairs and say that's just children? Or do you tear their hindparts up when they jump on that couch? Huh? Are you actually doing the job, or are you Mr. Softy? Because this is the problem. And you want to see these demons, what I'm about to show you? If you are a Christian, you should not have this group nowhere in your house. Your kids can't listen to them. Jamal, but kids going to listen. Yes, kids are going to try their best, but that's why you watch them. This filth. This is just straight up filth. Let me turn the volume down because I don't want the volume being played too loud on this when I go. This is just filth. And I'm actually going to play audio. I'm actually going to play the audio. I want you to hear how Access Hollywood described this outfit. I want y'all to hear this. How they described this outfit. Let's get started, y'all. Demons and devils. This is on public television. Never thought the day I'd see this.
'23 Grammys. The duo hit the stage to deliver a majorly racy performance of their hit song Unholy. Kim was seen on stage in a cage surrounded by dancers with whips. Sam rocked a bright red top hat with horns while belting out the song for the audience, and the crowd went wild for their performance.
This is America today. This is America today. If CBS didn't get calls saying y'all better not do this stuff ever again, where are the so-called Christians? Where is the Midwest? Because and here's something else that people don't know. Where is the TV stations in the Midwest that refuse to play this garbage? They have mocked God so much. They have mocked God so much. They mock Satan. Now, let me say this. We know God is all powerful. God is all powerful. God is a caring and loving and compassionate God. But the God of this world don't like to be mocked. Let me say that one more time. Every time somebody do one of these type of demonic, people like, oh, he's giving his soul. No, he's not. He's mocking Satan. And Satan do not like to be mocked. Satan do not like to be mocked. And he's mocking Satan. And yes, He is going to pay for that. Don't be surprised if you hear something happened to him. I'm not going to be surprised. This right here clearly is evil 100%. And if you are allowing your children to listen to this music, buy this music, you are strengthening the hand of the evildoer. This man, this is a man who at an early age got his penis cut off. I thought they said they're not trans in children. He got his removed at age, 10 or 11? Yes. You can't mock God. You can't mock Satan either. Let me tell you something what a preacher told me. A preacher told me this long ago. What did he say? I'm trying to think about it right now. Something he said about dang, I can't believe I forgot it. But you don't mock God. Oh, I know what it was. Just came to my mind. It's the Alpha Male 67. When the second coming of Christ comes, the will all pay for eternity. Thank you for the there. No, G man, I'm into my show. I don't be asking questions like that to go off. Let me tell you something. Why do you think when the Apostle Paul came across that demon, that man possessed with demons, and the 7 brothers went up to him, said, we command you to come out as Paul whom worships Jesus. And the demon looked up at them and said, Paul I know. Jesus I know. Who are you? And jumped on them and whooped their hindpaws. So let's understand. This is just downright evil. And they know it. See, here's the thing. They know it. They absolutely know it. Oh, so you guys know Ramirez, the Alpha Male 67, sent me a super chat. Ramirez, the Alpha Male 67, sent me a super chat on Mind of Jamal, Black Southerner. Everybody talks about freedom, but you can ruin something with overmuch liberty. The Holy Scriptures in Ecclesiasticus warn you, fathers, do not give your daughters much liberty. Let me bring that up right now. Let me go and bring that scripture up. And now, y'all know usually That's Jay McCanney. I don't even want this picture in the background while I'm talking. I don't even want that picture in the background while I'm talking about scripture. Because I want you to listen to this. There we go. Ecclesiasticus 26:10. Let me say that again. Ecclesiasticus 26:10. Let me say that. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. What we witnessed last night was nothing more than pure evil, and they're purposefully trying to do it. They wanted to do this. They wanted to send a message last night that evil and degeneracy is what runs America. You got a president that's doing everything he can to undermine this nation. You got a minority. White folk, you're going to get mad, but hey, it got to be said. You got the minority in America not reproducing. You got the minority in America who are not reproducing. The majority in America are not reproducing. Those white folk, they're not reproducing. They're too busy trying to understand. I have never seen a secular nation go right. See, this is what people have to understand. The nation was founded by yes, a certain sect of Christians. I don't think, as a paranormal investigator, I know Satan all too well, and the demonologist I know, and a demonologist. Well, yeah. If Shane felt that's too scary, Shane, hold on. I'm gonna let him back, but I'm gonna still block him for about 5 minutes. Let him get that straight. If he says something crazy, Shane, put that on me. Because I'm getting his vibe, but I'm just trying to get his vibe. See, the thing is, people don't like Christians, and people always say, "Well, Christians are try to take your rights." Gay marriage was never a right. Gay marriage was something nasty men wanted to do, and they wanted to force it on people. You do understand all this satanic worshiping and all this stuff like this started happening the more and more people accepted that lifestyle. This stuff is just so,
Sam, thank you. You're a true angel and hero in my life, and I love you. And everyone who made the song, too. I love you guys so much.
Earlier in the night, the pair won Best Pop Duo Group Performance for their hit
That's
song,
a man.
Unholy. And while accepting the award, Kim was so excited to make history as the first transgender woman to win in the category.
Sam graciously wanted me to accept this award because I'm the first transgender woman to win this award. And
you know, black feminist lesbians have been trying to take over the black community, effeminize our men, and that's what has happened. Queen Latifah, let me go back to somebody real quick. Let me go back to somebody real quick. Let me go back to somebody real quick. That woman you see, that woman right there whom you see, came out in 1987-88, and she was known as Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah was supposed to empower black women. She was part of the Black Revolutionary. She was supposed to be part of the people who were supposed to be powerful soul sister for the movement. It all was a hustle. She was supposed to be a Christian. Nope. Now, the reason why the impact this of her, they want to show her smiling, because the black community is still rejecting the transgender community in high numbers. See, they get mad when stuff happens and the black community don't turn out and march and support it. When someone of the GBTLQ community is hurt or assaulted, black folk don't turn out. You don't see black folk turn out for no transgender stuff. Matter of fact, you still hear a lot of black men say, oh, he was dressing up like a woman. And you know, what would you do if that was us? All right, now. All right, Mike Merch. But that was Queen Latifah. She was supposed to be one of the ladies first, support for the black agenda. Mm-hmm.
And I'm so...
And everybody.
Thank you.
Kim also thanked Madonna as well
That's
as her
a dude.
mother in her emotional speech.
That's a man.
Madonna for fighting for LGBTQ rights so much. I don't think I could
That's
be
a
here
man.
without Madonna.
They're both
My
men.
mother, I grew up next to a highway in nowhere, Germany, and my mother believed me that I
And they look
girl,
like a
and,
bunch of
I
weirdos.
wouldn't be here without her and her support. And everyone who believed in me.
They want to mock God. They want to mock faith. Don't you know this is what these people like to do? They want to mock faith. They love mocking people of faith. They loved it. They love to mock us. They love to, in their opinion, mock God. But you mocking God with something that don't like to be mocked. Because he wants to put his throne and ascend it over God's throne. So he doesn't like disrespect like that. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if you hear about something. Then you got here we go. The Titanic. We finally found out what happened to that balloon. Y'all know that balloon they shot down in the Atlantic Ocean over Myrtle Beach? We found the parts.
Very misunderstood. I felt on the outside looking in, but I stayed true to myself because I wanted to make
That's a huge bitch.
the world a better place, so I had to be that change to make the world a better place.
Bitch. That's a huge bitch.
And now I look around and there's all these songs that are about loving our bodies and feeling comfortable in our skin and feeling
Huge bitch. That's a
Let's talk about Fat Albert's big fat sister. Let's talk about it, shall we? Do you know most likely she's going to end up with an amputated arm? See, black folk like her, that's overweight, they end up with health problems. See, anybody that gets that big and that unhealthy, you get diabetes. Do you know what diabetes, the first thing they do, or as Miss Kimberly Ashcroft said, people used to like to say sugar. With diabetes like that, you know what happens? You end up getting stuff cut off. With diabetes and you're not taking care of yourself and you're constantly sitting there looking. Look at that. Look at that. She's mad because people telling her you're too fat. You need to lose weight. Body shaming is not, how do I put it? When you hear somebody say they're body shaming, that's somebody that's going to eventually die of a stroke or a heart attack. And for everybody who likes to tell this lie, well, I'm going to tell you right now, I know some people that run every day and eat salad and eat healthy. And guess what? They dine every day. You're right. You're right. There is somebody right now who runs 2 miles in 14 minutes, goes to the gym, lift weights, go home, eats healthy. Every day somebody dies like that. Yes, that's true. That is so true. But every minute, hundreds of people die looking like Lizzo. So, if you are a gambling man, who would you put your money behind? The one of these die every day, or the one hundreds die every minute? Every minute, somebody dies who was fat and overweight. Every minute, every second, somebody dies from being overweight. So what she is doing, she is actually harming our children. She's harming them. She's harming a community because the community sees her being that fat and say, hey, I know I look good. Really? You look good? No, you don't. No, you don't look good. And that goes for anybody that's overweight. Even me. I'm slightly overweight. Yeah, I'm overweight. And I also got diabetes. But you know what? I'm backing up so I won't die from it. I watch my dad's legs get cut off. My brother, half a leg and half up to his knee on one side and half of his foot cut off on the other. But people like Lizzo call what she doing body positivity. I call that being lazy because she don't want to put down the ho-hos and bonbons and potato chips.
I like to believe that not only can people do good, but we just are good. We are good. And
you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Remember that? What did Jesus say about good? What did Jesus say about being good? What did he tell? What did he say? When he said, no, only one is good, and that is my Father up in heaven. Jesus said, don't call me good. There's only one that's good. And he pointed up to heaven. And oh, what's funny? When Lizzo said, oh, I think this up here. This goes to show Beyonce, you ain't that young no more. Hold on.
in the 5th grade, I skipped school to see you perform.
She just called Beyonce old. Lizzo said in the 5th grade, I skipped school to see you perform. Now, yes, Beyonce was part of a group called Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child started in 96, 97. And Beyonce, so she been around a long, long time. But that goes to let you know these people can't let this stuff go. She can't let go of the spotlight.
Many goated artists is my last time up here. Beyonce, whoo. In the 5th grade, I skipped school to see you perform. My sister, she got me out of school. It was literature, I'm good. And where you at, Beyonce? My eyes are wet.
She just went up there and said she cut school. She cut school to go to a Beyonce concert, but it's okay, it's literature. And you want to know why the black community is so ignorant. You want to know why the black community is so ignorant. She openly is up here bragging about dropping out of school. Where are the so-called Democrats? Where are the so-called black folk who love education coming out saying she doesn't need to be bragging about quitting school and dropping education? Where those black folk at? Where those black folk at? Where those black folk who say they value education? Where they at? Where those black folk who say they value education? Where the black folk outraged, and I mean outraged, that she sat up here and admitted, yeah, she dropped out of school. She would skip school, play hooky, so she can go to a Beyonce concert. Where are the people who would have said, no, we don't need that? You know what? Hold on. Beverly Dollar Tucker caught her in a lie. Beverly Dollar Tucker on Black Tea Patriots caught Lizzo in a lie. Or she that ignorant? Literature means English. Literature is in high school. Lizzo said she quit. She played hooky in the 5th grade. But literature is taught in high school. Listen to this again. Good point, Beverly Dollar Tucker. Good point. This woman just made up a whole lie about her life. Listen to it again.
In the 5th grade, I skipped school to see you perform.
See, in the 5th grade, I skipped school to see you perform. Hold on.
My sister, she got me out of school. It was literature, I'm good.
But she said literature. You don't take literature in the 5th grade. You take literature in high school. That's a good point. Thank you. That is a good point. That's a good daggone point. They don't call it literature in the 5th grade. It's English reading. You can see she didn't skip lunch. You can tell that. But this is the crap that was in front of our kids. This is the stuff that liberals, this is the stuff that's on the American, this is the stuff that's on American television and influence our children. I don't think America got 100 years left. I do not believe America got 100 years left. I do not believe that America has 100 years left. Nope. No, we don't. They had like 5 million viewers the other night. I do believe it was 5 million. And what always happens, an empire fights off its oppressor, establish laws, that nation rises, and within 2 to 3 generations, it goes astray. It dissolves itself. Look at this. Hungry, hungry hippo. Hungry, hungry hippo. And I want to play this, y'all. I want to play this. Because I want to talk about conservatives and Republicans and how we view each other. And if you are interviewing someone, liberals will take up for that co-host or that person. They'll do that. Conservatives won't. I want y'all to look at this right here. This is Ben Shapiro talking to, I forget her name, from the Young Turks.
That's a huge bitch.
Oh, dang, wrong
That's
one.
A huge bitch.
Wrong
That's a
one,
huge
wrong,
bitch.
wrong, hold
That's
up,
a
wrong
huge
one.
bitch. That's a huge bitch. That's a huge bitch.
Actually join me on the show, because it is hard to get people who disagree on shows like this one, for sure.
Well, I think that it's important to talk to people you disagree with, debate and hash out some of the ideas that we have and the differences we have. I'm not afraid of my political views. I'm not afraid to admit when maybe I got something wrong in the past and maybe I've evolved on my political views. It's just really, really important in a functioning democracy to have Americans see one another as fellow Americans, as opposed to an identity that needs to be super combative with a different identity. And I think that's what we've kind of turned into. You and I clearly have a lot of disagreements on policy, disagreements on culture, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an awful person. It doesn't mean that I should be afraid of you. If anything, I should prove that I genuinely believe my political views by engaging in these debates. If I can defend what I believe with actual facts, statistics, empirical evidence, well, that only proves that there's good reason to believe in the policies that I'm promoting. And it's easy to be in an echo chamber where everyone already agrees with you, but you're not really being challenged. So I like to be challenged. I like to put my political ideas to the test, and I think this is a good opportunity to do it.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I really like about you as a person. We actually got to know each other when we did a debate about a year ago, I think, over in Pennsylvania, and we were talking in the green room beforehand, and we got along as human beings. And one of the things that's nice about conversations like this is, again, what you say I think is super important, which is that the social fabric of the country is going to be built on the idea that people can have conversations like this, and yet it's considered so unusual and so crazy. Have you gotten any blowback for being willing to do conversations like this one?
I have. I will say, you know, it is a small portion of a very loud group of self-identified leftists on Twitter, for instance. They'll get very upset. They'll accuse me of platforming you, even though, I don't know if they notice, you've got a bit of a platform on your own. I don't need to help you in building a platform or platforming you. I think that there's this very real fear that in engaging in these conversations, you are legitimizing the other side. And my point is, as long as the other side's coming at me with good faith arguments, they genuinely believe what they're saying, having these debates is important in actually deciphering what you as the viewer believe, right? It needs to be black and white. And honestly, political issues are usually a lot more complex, a lot more nuanced, and nothing in life is black and white.
And that's what makes them interesting in the first place.
Right.
If it was all that black and white or that easy, you wouldn't have to listen to shows like yours or shows like mine, and you wouldn't have to, I've always encouraged people to listen to shows that are on the other side of the aisle, because otherwise they don't know what I'm saying that's fact and what I'm saying that's opinion. And so I think it's really important for people to hear conversations between people who really, really disagree. You used a phrase there that I think is really important, good faith. And this is one that I've had to kind of think through myself, because obviously there are conversations that are not worth having. You'll have people online who will say, you should go talk to this person. You know this person happens to be, you know, like dregs of the earth. And then you say, well, I don't really wish to talk to, and they say, well, you say you're willing to talk to pretty much anybody. So how do you draw that line? How do you draw the line between somebody who is worth talking to, somebody who's acting in good faith, and somebody who's not really acting in good faith?
Well, I think the interaction that you and I had both before and during that debate was really important to me, in that it gave me a better idea and sense of who you are. You know, one of the issues I've had in recent years is the or the caricatures that are drawn of the other side. And I think the left does it, the right does it. So just kind of like lumping you in with, let's say, Tucker Carlson, lumping you in with, I don't know, someone else that I certainly don't think is coming at these debates from a good faith perspective.
Ben Shapiro sat right there and heard that woman say, lumping you in with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is actually one of the most prolific conservative voices out there. And she openly says and mocks, degrades Tucker Carlson, and Ben Shapiro didn't say a word. Ben Shapiro didn't say a word. He didn't remind her, he didn't remind her of Chake. How many times he's lied and been accused of sexual harassment. The guy on the Young Turks, Sheikh, whatever his name is, have been reprimanded for sexual touching and writing certain letters. But this is why Steve Crowder was talking about when he sat there and he said some people are just conservative in name only. They give you that speech, but they're not. Nah, that's a Chinese spy balloon. I got a question, y'all. And this is going to go, like I said, Kevin McCarthy has been doing good. Kevin McCarthy has been doing good. I got to admit that. I got to admit but hold on. Oh well, it'll come back to me. I'm trying to think. What was it? Trying to think. I was going to talk about McCarthy, but what the heck? I talk about McCarthy. I got the video uploaded. I thought McCarthy said he was opening he was opening it back up to American citizens. Why are they putting chain link fence around the Capitol building? And CBS, of course, is going to mention January 6th.
Hey, it's Scott McFarlane outside the Capitol on what is very clearly a very windy Monday and one day ahead of President Biden's State of the Union address. The president, for the third year in a row, will address Congress at a Capitol complex that is surrounded by this hulking 8-foot black metal fencing. It went up over the weekend. It'll remain up through Wednesday. Let me tell you, this fencing is everywhere. It surrounds the entirety of this U.S. Capitol complex. It's increasingly common to have this fencing here, and it is increasingly controversial. Police say it's here out of an abundance of caution because the State of the Union is deemed a national security special event. But it's also just not popular with the people who work here, who serve here, and who live near here. I spoke with the mother of 2 daughters who lives in a Capitol Hill neighborhood, and she said, not only is the fencing ugly, she says for kids, it can be traumatizing. When they ride past it on their way home or on their way to school, they ask, are we under attack again?
Are we under attack again? Everybody around Washington, D.C. constantly live every day in January the 6th. These people in Washington, D.C. need to get out of Washington and go visit somebody. Because these people, every single day for them is January the 6th. Every single day is January the 6th. January the 6th. January the 6th. January the 6th didn't even last that long. But they got to continually bring in January 6th. January 6th. January 6th. Like, do y'all have anything else other than January 6th?
Something wrong here in Washington, in our city. And even for the members of Congress who this fencing is designed to protect, it's unpopular. D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, who represents the District of Columbia, is reintroducing legislation, he tells me, to prohibit permanent fencing around the Capitol. That idea was suggested immediately after January 6th. She's proposing legislation to prohibit it from ever becoming permanent, saying it's a disruption to the people who live here, who work here, including for the congressional staff. But I'll note the irony of all this. It's not lost on me. There's an increasing number of January 6th defendants who argue that their trials should be moved away from Washington, moved away from the Capitol, arguing the D.C. jury pool might be biased. They because of all the disruptions, the possible trauma from, among other things, the fencing that's here and that was here after January 6th. The judges haven't bought it, haven't moved any trials, haven't agreed to change in venue motions. It's the defendants themselves allegedly part of a crime that led to the fencing in the first place.
This is the main reason why I cannot support Ron DeSantis for president over Donald Trump. I must support Donald Trump because people who was part of January the 6th need to have their sentences thrown out. They literally need to have their sentences thrown out. They need to have their sentence thrown out. January 6th the people of January 6th have been the victims of some of the most disgraceful justice you have seen. For people who walked into the Capitol building where the police officers allowed them in is getting 6 and 5 years. That should be entrapment. No, that should be entrapment. If the police open the door and let you in, that should be entrapment. Because if he wasn't supposed to do that, then he wasn't supposed to let you in. January 6th. Now, Mind of Jamal Live, Mind of Jamal Live, Mind of Jamal Live. I am about to end the stream. Mind of Jamal Live, Mind of Jamal Live. Let me go on and paste the go on and do the they was trying to get heavy on me, Miss Lisa. There we go. Thank you, Shane. So if you want to come on over and finish watching the rest of the show, if you want Mind of Jamal Live, come on over. If not, God bless you. Talk to you later.